Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to your full body stretch. Let's start in a comfortable seated position. Taking some deep breaths in as we reach our arms all the way up. Exhale, lower the arms down to the mat. Again, reach up, deep breath in. Exhale, lower hands down to the mat. Bringing the right arm up, over to the side. Reaching up, looking up. Good. And over to the other side. Reach, stretch over. Good. One more time over to the other side. So reaching over. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring our body slightly forward, rolling our shoulders, walking our hands forward. Ooh, feels so good on the back, reaching over and then up. Let's try that again. Taking the left arm over, curving the spine gently, and then walking your hands, dropping your head over to the other side and coming up. Starting to roll our shoulders, rolling them back and rolling them forward. Just relaxing your breath, relaxing your mind, getting ready for this beautiful flow of strengthening and movements and flexibility. And it feels so good when you're done. Placing your hands onto your lap again, dropping our chin, and then looking up. So just starting to warm up the neck, dropping the chin, and then looking up. Good. And then tilting to the left, relaxing the shoulders down. Maybe we have a kink in our neck, right? Bringing up to center. Maybe we don't have one of those designer pillows. We have a cheap one that's all hard. Coming up to center one more time, dropping over to the left. Taking a deep breath in and then rolling the head gently over to one side and the other. Good. At the same time, start to move our wrists a little bit. Takes a little bit of coordination, bringing our arms all the way up, reaching up, pulling our hands to the sky, reaching up one more time, and then lowering our wrists down, sort of like a dance movement. I learned this from a guy who does yoga. He's great. We are going to bring ourselves forward onto our mat, into our tabletop position, and just start to make some big circles with our body. So just starting to warm up the hips, warm up the wrists, play with this movement. It doesn't have to look like anything special. Just curve the spine, look up. This is like almost like a variation of going into child's pose, going into cat-cow, just creating some movement. Good. Come up into your tabletop position. Let's get a little bit stronger as we extend our right leg out, pointing the toes down into the mat, and then just starting to focus on keeping the belly in. Taking a deep breath, and then extending the left arm over our head, palm facing in, taking a breath in, and then extending the leg a little bit out to the side, hand and arm go out to the side as well. Good. Point the toe, and then bend the knee, bring the knee back, and then try to grab onto that top of the foot and lift up. So kicking back, keeping our belly in tight, maybe keeping our gaze just at the top of the mat. Ooh, feeling this nice opener, this chest opener, and hip. And then release gently without a slingshot, bringing the hand forward, the leg forward, dropping the hand, dropping the knee, and then sitting back into our child's pose. Take a breather here. Such a beautiful pose to come back to center, come back grounded, dropping the forehead to the knee. Taking a breath in and out. And then walking both hands over to the right side, maybe dropping our chin or our forehead to our right knee. Then back to center, and then over to the left knee. Feeling the stretch in our right arm all the way down our body. Good, and coming back to center, lifting ourselves back up onto our knees, tabletop position, extending the left leg now, toes pointed in, belly in strong. Lifting our right hand above our head, our right arm, palm facing in. Lift, 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 lifting the arm, lifting the leg. And then extending it out to the side. So the hand goes out and the foot. It's a good little balancing move too. And then bending the left knee, bring it in as you grab the top of your foot and then kick back. So you're kicking back, looking up, opening up the right shoulder. Breathe. Beautiful, good. Slowly release, bringing the arm forward, dropping the hand, dropping the knee, sitting back into a wider child's pose. So opening up the hips a little bit more for this one, bringing the hands forward, rock from side to side. Another deep breath in and out. Good. And then coming up once more, tabletop position, bringing your hands forward, stretching into our puppy pose. So dropping our chest down. Again, we're starting to open up the chest and the shoulders. Hips are to the sky. Try to keep your belly in. So I tend to arch my lower back far too much. It's just, we all have different bodies. Have to be mindful of our own body. Knowing our strengths and our weaknesses. Trying to get your chin to the mat. Opening just the top part of our body and our shoulders. And then coming up slowly back to tabletop, flipping the toes up to your first downward facing dog. So first downward facing dog, it's always good to keep your knees a little bit slow, knees bent, and then bending one knee and then the other. And just take 3 long breaths here. Playing around with this position, maybe swaying your hips from side to side. Just finding the sweet spot. Your perfect downward dog, where you feel your feet and your ankles, heels pressed down on the mat. Surrender, let go, release. Good. Lifting our heels up off the mat, bend the knees, jump, hop, or step to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, so we're bringing our palms all the way up to our shins, flat back, and lower down, forward fold. Dropping the head, maybe bending one knee and the other, maybe lifting one heel. Again, our first forward fold, so let's be gentle. Create a little bit of movement, grabbing on to the elbows, swaying from side to side, and then let your head be heavy once more. Shaking your head. No and yes. No is a good one to practice since so often we forget to use it. Yes. Good to know our boundaries. No is no longer a bad word. Reaching to stand, reach up, look up. Good, hands to heart center. Take a second to mountain, rolling the shoulders back. Good, coming to the top of the mat. We're gonna step back into our warrior one. So just nice and gentle, bringing that right foot up, slow and controlled, warrior one. Pivot the foot to the outside of the mat, bending forward. Back leg is straight, front knee is bent. Hold. Good, flow it out. Dropping our hands down, bending the knee a little bit more as we lower our body and shoulders to the top of the mat. Reach up, float it down again. Try to keep your lower body stable and still. We're just moving our upper body up, lower, and rise. One more time, lower and rise. And on this inhale, we're going to open up, warrior two. Woo, lotus flower, bending the front knee. Good, flipping both palms, reach up, look up. Lower down, warrior two. Good, now just hold this warrior two, focusing on keeping the front knee out. Having your gaze over your hand, feeling the strength and the burn in this pose. And then let's drop the back hand, flip the front palm, peaceful warrior or reverse warrior. You can take that hand to your leg or wrap it behind your back. Good. Cartwheel the arms down. We're gonna come into our runner's lunge. So we have our left foot forward, pivot the foot, hips are square, sink down into your runner's lunge. Placing the right hand on the mat, lifting the left arm up for a twist. Keeping the back leg straight. Hold. Good. Drop the left hand, bending down deep, dropping the back knee now, releasing the toe, walking back into your half split. Oh, dropping the head down. Good, but pulling in with your belly. Hips square. Good, deep stretch. Walking your hands forward again, keeping your back knee onto the mat. Lift up into your low lunge. Put two hands just below your knee and pushing yourself back away from that knee as you sink further down into this pose. Good. You want to make sure that your knee is still supported over your ankle. Listening to our bodies. Notice that I have 3 mats, so if your knee is bothering you, you might want to get some knee pads, or just do what I do, layer. Layering is always good. Dropping both hands, flipping the toe. Now we're going to extend both legs now. So both legs go up. We're going to drop the back heel, lift the front toes, and then back into our runner's lunge. And then again, straightening the front leg, dropping the back heel, lifting the front toes. And again, slowly bending that front knee so that you're in your runner's lunge. Lower the back heel, straighten the front leg, lift the front toes. Good. Place your foot down and lower your back heel. With all of our strength, we're going to rise up back into our warrior two. Good. Flipping both palms, reach up, look up. Lower down. And again, flip, look up, lower down, flip, look up, lower down. Keep both legs straight this time. Pivot the feet, go down into your wide-legged forward fold with a slight knee bend. So we're opening up our hips a little bit more, dropping our head again, and just start to sway from side to side. Breathe. You could hum if you want to. Always good to stimulate the vagus nerve. Sing. Hum, exhale through your mouth when you need to release any stagnant energy, any negative energy. Come up, back up onto your fingertips, and then bringing your hands to the top of the mat, pivot the feet, front knee bent, and bring yourself to the top of the mat in your forward fold. Walk at your forward fold, drop your head, and relax. Bend the knees, rise to stand. Reach up, look up. Hands to heart center. Mountain pose. Roll the shoulders. take a minute, get grounded once again. We're gonna get ready to lift our left leg up into our warrior one. So once you have your balance, lifting up, stepping back, outer edge of the mat, pivot the foot to the other side, bending the front knee, back leg is straight, reach up. Let's challenge our strength and our balance by lowering ourselves down. So our hands go back and rise. Make this look as pretty or as graceful or as stiff as you want. You can come up like a robot and down. But I like to flow since yoga is soft. Reach up and down and up and down. And on this rise, we transition into our warrior two as we open up, pivoting the foot a little bit closer to the center of the mat, bending down, hold, relax, breathe. Drop the back hand, flip the front palm, peaceful warrior. Again, place your hand down on your leg or wrap around. Hold. All the way forward into our extended side angle, reaching up, pulling that knee out. Good, pulling yourself back up to your warrior two, flipping both palms, reach up, look up. Deep breath in, lower down. Again, flip the palms, reach up, look up. And lower down. We're gonna drop the right hand and come around, pivoting the body as we place both hands down on the mat into our runner's lunge with our right foot this time. So our right foot is forward, back heel is lifted straight, front knee is bent over the ankle. Placing the right hand flat onto the mat or a block, lifting your right arm all the way up to the ceiling. Taking a breath in, enjoying this twist. Good, lower the right hand down to the mat, lower the back knee, release the toe, and then walking your hands back for your half split. Focusing on keeping your hips square, lifting the right toes up, and just breathe. Doing this really nice hamstring stretch. If it's too much too, you can try to maybe do a micro bend in your knee. Listening to our body. Good. And then walking our hands forward into our low lunge. So we're going to keep our knee still on the mat and then coming up by putting one hand on your right, just below your right knee, and your other hand lifting up. Sinking deep into this pose. Good. Placing both hands down onto the mat, flipping the toe, come back up into your runner's lunge or high lunge. And now we're going to drop the back heel and straighten both legs. So we're lifting the front foot, right foot off the mat, and then lower down into your runner's lunge. A couple more times, extending the front leg straight, dropping the back heel, lifting up the toes off of the mat. And then again, drop the toes, lift to the back heel, go down into your runner's lunge. Last time, straightening the leg, dropping the back heel, lifting the front toes onto your heels, and then lower down. Bend the front knee slightly, keeping the back heel onto the mat, lifting up, using your strength, back up to your warrior two. Bending the front knee. Flipping both hands, reach up, look up, and lower down. Nice. Flipping both palms, reach up, look up. Exhale, lower. One more time, flipping the palms, reach up, look up. Exhale, lower. Let's grab onto our hands. Sorry, my back is to you. Reaching your hands behind your back. Lower down into your forward fold, bringing your arms all the way up to the sky. Sinking deep into this nice pose. Relax your head. Give your head a little shake. And then lower your hands down to the mat, pivoting your feet a little bit closer together as you carry both hands over to the top of the mat and place your feet parallel, bending the back knee, bringing your back foot to meet your front at the top of the mat, forward fold. Exhale. Good. Place both hands down on their mat, bend your knees, and then step back one foot and the other into your high plank. Holding your high plank. Let's work on the core just a little bit. Now, really simple, we're just going to let both heels drop over to the left side, lifting the right arm all the way up. Hips are up. Bring your right hand all the way up to the sky. Lift, lift, lift. Take a breath and lower. Right hand goes down. Come up, back up onto your toes, dropping both heels over towards the right, lifting the left arm all the way up. Lifting your hips high, and then lowering the left hand down. Dropping your knees, releasing your toes, and float down all the way to your mat. So coming up to your Sphinx position, pushing your hips down into the mat, belly in as well, shoulders away from your ears. Breathing, lifting up. Good. And then lower down, bring your hands a little bit closer to your armpits. Push up to your first upward facing dog. So now we're lifting the hips off of the mat, pointing the toes. Nice. Good. Drop the knees and now pick up your feet off of the mat. And we're just going to play with this one, stretching and moving, maybe lowering one foot and then the other. It's a little quad stretch, a little deeper stretch, trying to get those toes to touch our head. Yes. And then sitting back slowly into your wide-legged child's pose. Take a deep breath in and out, letting the spine go back to neutral. And then lifting up into your tabletop position, flipping the toes, coming up for your downward facing dog. Lifting up your right leg, three-legged dog, and then bending the right knee, opening the hip. So trying to keep your shoulders square, and then lifting your knee to the ceiling, and then letting your heel be heavy. And then also trying to get your left heel down onto the mat. And breathe, lift. Good. Straighten and lower. And then left foot to the sky. Bending the left knee, opening up the hip. Letting the right heel try to find the mat. Lifting the left knee to the sky. Good. And then lowering both feet down, rolling your shoulders forward, coming into your high plank position. Taking a deep breath in. Good. Coming a little bit forward on your toes, dropping your knees, releasing your toes, float down chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra to your downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale. Good. Walking out your feet. Lift your heels, bend your knees, jump, hop, or step to the top of the mat. Flow it out. So bringing up, halfway lift. Flat back, lower down, forward fold. Bend the knees, rise to stand, reach up. Bring your hands to heart center. Exhale, floating your hands all the way back down to the mat. Bend the knees, jump, hop, or step. High plank position. Knees or toes, chaturanga, float down. Upward dog or cobra to downward facing dog or child's pose if you need a break here. Stretch it out one more time. Good. And then lowering our knees to the mat, relaxing your feet, coming into a kneeling position, and then coming into our Baddha Konasana. So we're bringing our toes, heels together and bringing our midsection, our lower belly forward and letting our knees be heavy. Take a nice inhale, exhale, and then trying to bring yourself forward slightly. Maybe dropping the head. Somebody's texting me. Keeping the left foot in, extending the left foot, and then over to the side. Reach for that foot. Good. Enjoying this nice side stretch. And then bringing both hands across the front and then lifting up. So we're taking the right arm up to the sky, pushing the hips forward, and then lowering down and then reaching for that foot one more time. Good. Coming up, switching sides. Right foot goes in, left foot goes out. Reaching over to the side. You could either point or flex your foot, however it feels good for you. Good. Take the right hand down, swing the left arm up, lifting the hips off of the mat, reaching back, pushing your hips forward. Good. Bringing your hand across, back down over to your right foot. Good. Slowly coming up, bring your feet to the top of the mat, lower yourself down, nice and slow and relaxed, giving yourself a head to toe stretch, like somebody's pulling your hands, somebody's pulling your feet, taking a deep breath in, really filling your lungs with oxygen. Exhale. Nice. And then bringing your knees up to your chest and rocking from side to side. And then bringing your toes pointed to the ceiling, little inversion, a waterfall. Bring your arms up as well. Let your feet dangle, your feet dangle. Nice. And then grabbing the outside of your feet into your happy baby, rocking from side to side. Good. Finding the mat with your feet, pushing up to a bridge, lifting up. And then lowering the hips down. Get ready for a twist. Let's bring our knees together. Let both knees fall over to the right side. And just start to relax your breath a little bit more at this time. Maybe closing your eyes. Now that we're coming to the end of our practice, we can give ourselves gratitude for this beautiful, healthy body that we have. Good. From this twist, extend your right leg down and then come back to center, pulling your left knee into your chest for wind pose, flexing both feet. Pull, pull, pull. Nice. Good. Lifting the foot, slowly lower. Another stretch from head to toe. Taking a deep breath in. And then finding the mat with your feet once more. Get ready to drop both knees over to the left side. Make sure you are in line on your mat before you let both feet fall. Arms go out for a twist. So you're twisting again at the waist. You want to try to keep yourself in alignment in the center of your mat as much as you possibly can. And then just relax into this pose. Your shoulders be heavy. Good. And then bringing your knees up to center. And you can go ahead and do whatever movement you might feel needed to do. Or maybe you're just all set and ready for a few minutes in your Shavasana. And placing your head relaxed down, shoulders down, legs down. Feeling the beautiful energy, the movement, the oxygen, the blood flowing through your entire body, healing every cell, every muscle, helping every organ become its most virtuous self. If you wanted to pause the video and make sure that you can get in a long Shavasana, please do. Start to take some deeper breaths in and out. Deep breath in and out as we start to become more aware of our surroundings, maybe moving our wrists, maybe moving our feet, maybe bringing our feet up, and then rolling to one side and coming up to a comfortable seated position where we give gratitude and thanks for where we are in our life, for our journey, for our transformation that is always changing. Let's give gratitude to the chapter that we are in right now. It may be difficult, but we can get through it. And it's through these tools and practices of yoga, visualization, manifestation, love, and belief that we can get through anything together. Take this beautiful positive energy everywhere you go and share it to those that you love. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time.